Hello, and welcome to our adult education program. We've created this video that explains which information our adult education employees will ask you for when you fill out your paperwork. Depending on your program, you may fill out these papers in person or over the phone. Either way, you'll feel more confident if you prepare by watching this video before your registration appointment. Most of our staff will speak English when they help you with these forms. If you do live in a place where you can register in person and you plan to bring a friend or family member to help you communicate at registration, please check ahead of time to be sure that it is acceptable, since COVID-19 has changed many rules and procedures. We thank you for your cooperation because this data will help us continue to provide adult education programs year after year. We promise to keep your personal information safe and secure. According to FERPA, the Family Educational Rights and Policy Act, you have the right to see your registration form and information. If you are interested in doing so, you will need to contact your teacher and let them know. Okay, let's get started. It may be helpful to have your identification card with you when you register, if you have one. If you don't, it's not a problem and it isn't required. Your ID may help if you haven't memorized your mailing address or street address. Another tip: if at any time during registration you don't understand, you can simply say, "I don't understand. I don't understand." Or, "I need more information. I need more information." Or, "Please help me. Please help me." Please keep in mind that if any of this information seems unfamiliar to you, then that most likely means it is not applicable to you and that you do not need to provide it. First, you'll be asked your name. Name. Give both your last name, and your first name, first name. If you have more than one last name, please use the version that's on your ID. Next, you'll give your mailing address, mailing address. That's the address for your postal mail, and it might be the same address as your house or apartment if your mail gets delivered to your home. This address must include your city, state, and zip code. It is important to have your contact and personal information available when filling out the registration form. You will need to be able to provide your phone number and cell phone number. You will need to indicate the best number to reach you and if you're okay receiving text messages. You will also need to provide an email address if you have one. The personal information that you need to have available is your country of origin and your emergency contact information. You will need to have their name and best contact information, like phone number and email address. For the next section, you'll tell about your education. You'll be asked, whether your education was US-based, US-based, or non-US-based, non-US-based. Then you'll be asked, what was the highest level of school you completed? What was the highest level of school you completed? If you aren't sure, you can tell the person how old you were when you stopped attending school. For example, you could say, I stopped going to school at 8 years old. Next, you'll give your Social Security number. Social Security number, if you're willing. It's not required, but it will help our program, and we promise to keep it locked in a safe place. Then you'll give your date of birth. Date of birth. Remember, in the US, you tell your birthday in this order: month, day, year. Then there are 2 questions about race and ethnicity. Both questions must be answered. The first question is, are you Hispanic? Are you Hispanic? The second question is, which best represents your racial origin? Which best represents your racial origin? Here, your choices are American Indian or Alaska Native, American Indian or Alaska Native, Asian, Asian, Black or African American, Black or African American, Native, Hawaiian, or other Pacific Islander, Native, Hawaiian, or other Pacific Islander, white, white. For the second question, please choose how you personally identify. The next set of questions are going to focus on your employment. The first question asks you to indicate your employment status. The first option is employed, employed. This means that you currently have a job. The next option is employed, but received notice that employment is ending or separation from the military is pending. Employed, but received notice that employment is ending or separation from the military is pending. This means that you currently have a job, but you have been told that your current job will end soon, meaning that you will soon be unemployed. The next option is unemployed, looking for a job. Unemployed, looking for a job. This means that you do not currently have a job, but you are actively trying to find a job. If you are unemployed, you will also need to state how long you have been unemployed. The last option is unemployed, not looking for a job. Unemployed, not looking for a job. This means that you do not currently have a job and that right now you are not actively looking for a job. The next question regarding employment is about your employment barriers. These are possible reasons why you may not have a job or you may not be able to get the job that you want to have. You will need to select all of the answers that are true for you, which means you can choose more than one answer. The person registering you will provide you with the possible answers, but it is best to think of these reasons prior to registration. Next, you'll be asked about Virginia High School equivalency testing. The first question is, have you taken the GED test? The GED is a set of 4 exams that some people take in order to achieve their high school diploma equivalency. The second question is, do you plan to take the GED test in the next 12 months? If you are unfamiliar with the GED and have not ever taken it, please let the person registering you know. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and to prepare for your registration phone call or appointment. Please make sure that when completing the registration form, you have your ID present and your contact and personal information ready. If any time during the registration call or appointment you do not understand or have questions, please let the person you are speaking to know. Please remember that we are collecting this information because it helps us to continue to provide these classes. We promise that your information will be kept safe and secure. We cannot wait to meet you and help you start or continue your education journey with